This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Kingsley Kraft, and she is the marketing coordinator for Downtown Development Authority. Good morning, Kingsley.
Good morning. How are you? Good.
It's so nice to have you back again. As you reminded me, the last time you were on the show was your very first day of work.
Yes, it was. May 21st, 2018.
Wow. So you've been here that long, and how are things going?
It's going really well. I really enjoy the work that I've been doing and the way that my role has kind of evolved since I started.
Yes, and you know, Kingsley, downtowns are the lifeblood of any community, and we have a vibrant, wonderful downtown. So give me an idea of some things that are happening down there.
So we're running some more shopping events, some more strategically, so we're running more shopping events for our downtown to coordinate with our merchants and do things like that. We actually have one this week.
And tell me about the one this week.
Yeah, so we have our spring fever shop Tacular Thursday the 25th. So I guess when this is,
it'll be over by the time this airs. But that's okay, we can hear about it.
Yeah, so basically we just have like 13 merchants participating. It's similar to some other shopping events we'll likely be running in May again, and also in the fall and spring or winter. And so just our merchants run different promotions in their stores. We promote everybody together, and it gives people a chance to get out and see what's going on downtown, see what the different merchants are doing, see what new businesses there are.
And speaking of that, tell me about some new businesses.
Yeah, so we have a few new businesses moving downtown from the mall. We have the Style Warehouse, which is they sell like gently used secondhand clothing, things like that for men, women, kids, and everything. And they are located in the Old Masters Shoes spot now. They are officially open. They've been open a couple of weeks. And it looks really great in there, so it's very exciting. And then we also have Glicks moving in to the Harborside Mall, in that spot where you see those beautiful new windows being put in. So that's very exciting, and I peeked in there, and it looks like it's going to be a really beautiful spot for them.
Yay!
And then I think last winter, Cobby Goose moved in as well, also in Harborside Mall. So.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So you have lots of reasons to come downtown and support the merchants.
For sure, it's very exciting.
Okay, and I know that the DDA has worked really hard too on getting parking spaces and getting apartments and places for people to live and feel the whole downtown experience. How is all that going?
It's going really well. I know our board and our even like the Department of Public Works, especially this winter, worked really hard to make sure all of the parking was cleared away and everything was set for people, even though I feel like we had a pretty mild winter. There's lots of apartments downtown. They're pretty full. It's just really a great place to be, really happening.
So now you said that you're going to be targeting events. What about some of the events that we used to have since COVID came? Will any of those events be coming back this year? Yeah,
so we are hoping to host some of our old events as well. Like the chili chowder cook-off, we're hoping to host that again. It just depends on how everything plays out. That does happen typically later in the fall, so we are hopeful for that. We're hopeful Santa hours will return to normal this year.
Okay.
We would be doing normally Bard at the Bar, which is a Shakespeare-themed bar crawl with Thunder Bay Theater, but with everything going on at Thunder Bay Theater, that's postponed for different reasons.
Yes.
But we're also looking at introducing maybe a few new events this year, like our restaurant week in the fall as well, to maybe get more people out trying restaurants they may not have normally tried and things like that, as well as Chalk It Up, which we sort of tried to do last fall, but we're going to try and run at the beginning of summer just to get people out and about doing some artsy stuff.
Now, I know you're working on expanding your area too. How is that going?
I haven't been doing much with the boundary expansion. I know they're still looking into all the legality parts of it and everything, and there's a committee running that does that with a few different board members and as well as Ann on it. So they're still looking into it and seeing how they can make it happen and what the timeline will look like.
So if someone says, I have a business, I'd love to be in downtown Alpena, instead of going from place to place and place to place, is there like one spot they can go and say, show me what's available, tell me what's happening?
Absolutely. So we actually recently redid our website. So we have a spot on our website that's titled Grow Your Business. You can click on that, and underneath there you can find all the available properties that people have wanted to list with us or list on our website so people can see. So you can see all those there. You can also always call our office to see if there's anything that isn't quite up on the website yet. But there's also some other resources on there, like the Small Business Development Center is on that page, and those contact information. The Target Alpena information is on there, as well as the information about our business recruitment grant that is available now downtown.
Now, I know we had some businesses that were starting up and before COVID hit, and they're not really up and running yet. Will those businesses be coming to fruition this year?
I guess I'm not sure which businesses.
The brewery.
Oh, the brewery, I've heard they're still working on the interior and stuff. I know they hit a few snags when it came to like the physical structure of their building. But yeah, I believe their plan is still to open sometime soon.
Yay!
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Okay, and Art in the Loft is open again, and you know, there's some limitations and restrictions, but the downtown restaurants are all open now, so we'd like to encourage everyone to please support the local restaurants. They've been through pretty tough times the past 2 years, so give them all of your support, and the other downtown merchants also. Yeah,
everybody is back open, abiding by all the guidelines and everything, and they're happy to make sure everybody feels comfortable shopping and eating.
So what's the best way for anyone to keep up with the events downtown?
Well, we have our Facebook page, Downtown Alpena, and we also have our Instagram, which is Downtown Alpena as well. And then our website is downtownalpenami.com.
Okay, so if someone's interested in joining your board or joining any of your committees, they have to be a business owner in downtown?
I don't think you necessarily have to be a business owner downtown to join the committees. There's not really looking right now for anyone more on the board, but there is an application process for that. For committees, if you're interested in joining, you can pretty much be anyone. You just have to reach out, tell us what committee you'd be interested in joining, come to a meeting, see if it's for you, and kind of go from there.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much for being here. We are out of time. I want to, thank you and your board members for keeping everything going during these difficult times, and we'll look forward to, hearing more exciting things about downtown and seeing some new businesses open.
It's very exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be right back with Jillian Ferguson from Hope Shores Alliance following these messages. Hi, welcome back. I'm with Jillian Ferguson from Hope Shores Alliance. Good morning, Jillian, and welcome.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me. It's
Thanks
good
for
to see
being
you.
here. And we want to draw attention to the fact that April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And with any group and any organization, education and information sharing is the best key to getting things to change.
Yeah, we totally agree with you. And I think everybody is making adjustments in the midst of a pandemic, right? So we've gotten kind of creative with what we're doing this year to kind of bring awareness to Sexual Assault Awareness Month and to really encourage a way to unify around the message of ending sexual violence across the community. So we're doing something really fun that we've never done before. And it's called the Consent is Brew Tea Full campaign, which is kind of a pun.
Okay.
Because we're partnering with a ton of great coffee and tea shops to do this like passport idea where you can go to these different locations with a punch card, and after you buy 5 specialty coffee or tea drinks, you can win a free limited design tumbler, which we designed this great graphic. We have a really talented graphic artist on our team, and you can get this tumbler by just getting 5 specialty drinks. Ooh. And we have locations through Tawas, through Alpena, through Rogers City. It's been really great to kind of flex our creativity muscle to find new ways to engage the community and people within it.
Right, and people drink those beverages anyway, so might as well get a free tumbler.
Exactly. So throughout the month of April, if you visit North Country Candy and Gifts, Michigan Northern Espresso, or the Painted Lady up in Rogers City, or Susie Brews or the Tea Shop down in Tawas, either way, like any of those locations, or if you want to hit all 5, you can win a free tumbler from Hope Shores Alliance. Yeah, and it has this awesome logo on it, and then it lists all the coffee shops who we're lucky to partner with this month.
And speaking of partnerships, you're doing something with Alpena Community College also.
Yes, they're always such an incredible partner throughout Sexual Assault Awareness Month. In previous years, they're committed to ending sexual violence on campus, which we know is just an epidemic. So This year, we are doing kind of like an interview hybrid vigil thing. It's called Illuminate, Shining a Light on Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So we're going to have some great community members like Cynthia Mishinsky, Alpena County prosecutor, Don McMasters, the president of the college, Valerie Williams, our executive director, as well as Jess, who's great over at the ACC, and I think, a student leader. And they're all going to be interviewed on the topic of Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And then we're going to end with some live music from this incredible artist and like a candlelight vigil of sorts. And this will be happening over Facebook. So anybody can tune in over Facebook Live. So anybody from anywhere can tune in and participate in this really great awareness event.
Okay, and I know you said also that you're going to be visiting businesses and talking to them and hoping to leave brochures and information. Yeah,
we found throughout the pandemic that the best way to access our supporters as well as to make survivors aware that we're there is just by getting out into the community and letting them know that we're there. So we're going to be like flyering the town and throughout our entire 5-county area, where we just stop into local businesses with tear-offs and brochures and just see if they're interested in having our information displayed. Abusers work to isolate their victims, right? So, but sometimes they might be allowed to grocery shop or get their hair done or do these other things. So if we have our information accessible in all these locations, it's possible that that might be the place where they're able to access us. So whether it's public bathrooms or, bulletin boards at grocery stores, we just want to make sure that everybody knows there's a resource out there available for survivors.
And as you said, survivors, they think they're alone. They think they're the only one this has ever happened to. How can this be happening? So if they can come to Hope Shores Alliance and access some of your services, some of your professionals, and find out that, hey, it's not their fault. These things happen, unfortunately, and there's a way to stop them.
Absolutely. The sad thing about either domestic or sexual violence is that there's that feeling of isolation and shame, too, because nobody wants to come to the realization that they're in an abusive relationship, right? And there shouldn't be any shame because it's not their fault in any way. It's the abuser's fault or the perpetrator's fault. But we really want to create a sense of community where even if they're choosing to remain in that relationship, we don't judge them. We allow them to make that decision. Of course, it's their decision, right? But just knowing that you do have support regardless of where you are in that stage. If you're at the very beginning, if you're considering leaving, if you're deciding that you want to stay and make it work, we're available for them regardless of where they're at.
Okay, and you said that there are going to be volunteers starting back again.
Yes, so our volunteer program is up and running, which we're super grateful for because volunteers are just like the light of our agency. So we are actively looking for people who want to get involved in this, whether it's working right at the emergency shelter, working in our thrift store up in Rogers City, or doing anything and everything in between. All you have to do is reach out to Natalie Francis, who's our incredible coordinator, and just express what your interests are, and we'll try to match them with what our needs are at the agency. It's been great having volunteers back with us. We've missed them a lot, and it's just so nice being with real people and always maintaining safety, health safety checks, wearing masks, just to ensure the safety of volunteers, staff, and especially survivors.
So how can just general people in our community, how can they help you spread the word of sexual awareness?
I think one is just keep drinking coffee and tea, right? Keep drinking and then get a punch card at one of those locations and win this great free tumbler. Go to our social media, our Facebook page, our Instagram, and find ways that you can get involved and show your support via your own personal online platforms. And what we've been doing, with COVID, things kind of shut down, but we have really ramped up our efforts with our incredible partners like law enforcement, prosecution, and some of the non-traditional partners, just to begin having this conversation again about how we can really wholeheartedly and all-encompassing come around survivors and build a trauma-informed community. And I think every individual has a role in that, whether it's just having conversations with your friends about what it means to believe, support, and validate survivors, or whether you're in a leadership role in the community, you can make a positive impact on creating a trauma-informed community. So we really just want to send the message that every person has a role in ending sexual violence throughout this entire month, whether that's honoring and supporting survivors or looking at your policies or your own personal views, checking biases or some of that victim blaming stuff that's so common. Is your first response to blame the victim and assume that they were wearing something or drinking too much? Or are you really looking at the way that perpetrators cultivate these situations to specifically target folks?
And as you said, isolation is the first thing they do to their victims, and with the isolation of COVID, it's, you know, double.
I know. For a lot of abusers, the work was done for them, right? So to having a government say you have to isolate, it really put a strain on domestic violence survivors, and we just saw numbers across the state, across the nation, for calls into helplines just skyrocket because when you're told to isolate, and that's one of the primary tactics used, kind of worked against survivors in a lot of
So what's the
ways.
best way to reach someone to get help?
We have a 24-hour help and support line, and that just call that whether you're interested in volunteering or whether you're looking for help. It's 800-396-9129, and we'll get you connected with the help and support that you're looking for.
We're out of time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Appreciate it.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College. Pleased to have as our guest this morning, Mary Egan, Director of Alumni Relations at ACC. Welcome, Mary.
Thank you. I'm smiling behind my mask. Just want everyone to know that.
Nice mask you have there,
Thank
too.
you. Thank you. Branding. That's what I'm doing.
And it is part of what you do and what we do. But what does an Alumni Relations Director do?
Oh, my goodness. Basically, I am the link between the school, Alpena Community College, and our alumni, and I want to bring them together. I don't want folks to think that just because they've graduated, or even we consider alumni people who have just even attended, I don't want them to think that because their time at ACC is over, that their connection to ACC is over. And we have a lot of things to offer our alumni, and our alumni have a lot of things to offer the school and our students. So I think of my job as bringing those two entities together and for the betterment of Alpena Community College.
That is a great answer, and that's so true. I mean, we have tens of thousands of people who have gone to ACC in the history of the college.
Yeah.
Many of them have a considerable amount to offer to back to the college or the community or the students we have.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have some really impressive alumni, and over the past year, because my position is new, so I've only been in this position for a year, but over the past year, I have learned so much about the breadth and depth of our alumni base and how impressive they are, and all walks of life. It's been fascinating, and it's been neat to be able to connect students with alumni who are really inspiring to our current students. And they realize that just because they live in this little corner of the planet that's off the beaten path, it doesn't mean that they can't go on and do big things.
Absolutely true. And you have done some really big things in that position. One thing that I appreciate the most is the Crosscut, your newsletter that has stories in it about alumni or directed to alumni about current students, or both.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an e-newsletter, and it's a more efficient way of getting news out than our print newsletter, which we're only able to do a few times a year. So the e-newsletter is monthly, and anybody who would like to get it should just drop me an email. Perhaps we can get that on the screen. It's eganm@alpenacc.edu. And I would be happy to put them on our mailing list. It's really interesting stuff. This month, we have a story about a donor of a scholarship, Marie Sexsmith-Griffin, and she has just an incredible story. She's not from Alpena, but there's a really interesting reason she chose Alpena Community College to benefit from her estate, and it's a really cool story. So I hope people will check it out. You can also read the articles from the Crosscut on our website at alpenacc.edu.
Very good, and they're beautifully written, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
And another activity that's upcoming here fairly soon is the inaugural, the first edition, you might say, of an ongoing series called Fireside Chat.
Absolutely, yes. We're excited about this. Besser Atrium in Besser Technical Center, that's when you walk into Besser Tech, you see this grand entryway, and we recently renovated it. And one of the things that we did was put in an electric fireplace, which is beautiful. And I thought, gosh, we're living at a time where people, haven't really been able to get on campus because of the pandemic, and I wanted to show that off to them. So when we got the idea of maybe doing a virtual event, I thought, let's do it by the fireplace so
Yeah.
people can see it. And then I thought, well, gosh, what should be kind of the angle here? And I'm a student of history, and I thought, FDR, during a time of turbulence and uncertainty, decided to kind of cut through everything and talk directly to the American people, and started these fireside chats on radio where he would casually speak to America and get a message directly out to them. And I thought, gosh, we could do that. We'll invite people into Besser Atrium virtually, and I hope that we will have varied topics. I would love to do this monthly. We'll see how it goes. Our first fireside chat will feature you. And
nothing to fear but yourself.
Exactly. So I'm hopeful that you will let people know all of the things that are going on at ACC that perhaps they don't know about, but are so exciting and worth knowing about.
Yes, well, I appreciate the offer, and I think it's a great idea. And connecting with people about the things that are going on at the college that they may not know about, or that are really neat, or that that we feel proud of, or we're proud of our students. This is a message we need to get out constantly. You kind of, in my position, I often think, well, people already know that, but
they don't.
But they don't.
No.
And that's a mistaken notion, and it needs to be, the repetition of it needs to be done over and over again. And so I'm looking forward to it. I hope you're not too hard on me. Are you going to be like a Mike Wallace type interviewer?
Absolutely. We're going to do some gonzo journalism as well. So be prepared, to look around every corner, because you never know when I'm going to be there with a camera. It'll be a lot of fun. So if people would like to take part, they should email me again at eganm@alpinacc.edu. They can probably find that information on our website as well.
Very good. And the last thing is a complete veer of topic, but I have to commend you and your colleague, my colleague, Mike Colleen. You guys are doing a wonderful job live streaming our men and women's basketball games, because they're not open to the public.
No, we're having a lot of fun. That's on YouTube. So if you go to the Alpena Community College YouTube channel, you can watch all of the Lumberjack home games for both men and women, and Mike Colleen and I are doing commentary and play-by-play, and it's been so much fun, and I hope it's entertaining. I think I'm entertained, but then I'm easily amused, John.
Well, someone was sharing with me that we have maybe 1,000 people that tune in.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing, and that's a lot better than we can pack into Park Arena right now.
It is.
I call the cathedral to concrete, by the way. That's my thing for Park Arena. So.
Well, our men and women are doing pretty well. They're not throwing up bricks. They're competing, and thank you for everything you do with the alumni, and we're great to have you on board.
Well, thank you.
And thank you, folks, for watching Talk of the Town. We're going to see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your host, Nancy Smitham and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.